let's talk about the final quarterly meeting of Nigeria's Securities and Exchange Commission with the capital market institutions which were held last week. That meeting provided the SEC with the briefings from securities exchanges and the various working groups of the market as the regulator looks to further the implementation of its roadmap. Dr. Okey Umeano is the chief economist at the SEC Nigeria in Abuja, and he joins me live now with a briefing on the CMC meeting. Thanks for coming through. We appreciate your connecting to the show tonight from Abuja. Let me start by asking you, what were the key discussions at last week's Capital Market Committee meeting?
Thank you, Bosin. The meeting was a good one. We discussed issues around solving the problem of unclaimed dividends. So the market is coming up with a portal that would improve access to these dividends. So we expect the new e-dividend portal to be launched. The other thing is the non-interest capital markets. We had discussions around liquidity instruments in that market. One of the problems we have there is that we do not have short-term issues yet in that market. So we made discussions around how to incentivize issuances. So far, we've had just a few corporate issuances in that market, but we think that it's a viable market. It's a market that would attract a lot of capital, both domestic and foreign. So we generally made discussions and reached resolutions around how to strengthen it and make it more attractive. The other one is the commodities market too. We want to ensure that the non-interest products can be stretched into the commodities market and even the derivatives also. So these were a few of the things that were really at the top of our agenda at that meeting.
The CMC is a very robust meeting. So what about the roadmap? What about the committee's reports about where the revised NCM, the capital market roadmap is right now? Talk to me about that.
Okay, Bosin, we are really happy with where we are right now in terms of the roadmap. We have the Financial Literacy Committee who reported on our efforts to include capital market studies in our schools. So a lot has been done in that direction because we believe that it's good to catch them young. As you know, the demographic in our market is gray. It's quite old. So we have this, we think that it's good to bring in the young people. And that's why we're making that effort. So a lot of work has been done there. And we got very nice briefings on what has been done and what is being done. The other committee, the non-interest, I already talked about what they are doing. And then the Commodities Ecosystem Committee also talked about what is being done in the commodities market. You know, Nigeria's economic base is commodities. I mean, we have the oil, but we also have solid minerals. We are really into agriculture. And we think that the market needs to support this, our economic base. If we plan to, become the kind of economy we want to be, the government has set a target for $1 trillion, a $1 trillion economy. If we must achieve that, then we must strengthen the commodities segment of our market. And that's why we are spending a lot of intellectual capital, a lot of time, a lot of money, resources, to really strengthen that part of the market. So we had reports on what is going on there. As you well know, we have a few exchanges. Some of them are being bolstered, and others are doing quite well. But we are, we think we can do much better in that area. That market, I must tell you, has grown tremendously. And then you can also see both in the performance of our market, the stock market this year. Year on year, over 60%. Year to date, close to 40%. That's really good, but we know the drivers, and we're also looking at what can happen with changes in policy. So these are all the things that concern us that we're discussing. But as you know, we keep implementing the Capital Market Master Plan. That is what is giving us direction, and we're happy about where we are on that roadmap.
So aside the stock market performance on the NGX, tell me about major developments in the Nigerian market so far this year from the SEC's point of view. as a regulator?
Okay, yes, as you well know, the stock market has done tremendously well, but we know that it is because of liquidity that went from the fixed income market to the equities market and a few other factors. Of course, you know that the fixed income market has returned negative real returns, and this year, I mean, the returns are below inflation rates. And we saw a lot of outflows from that market into the stock market. And then we also saw a lot of good performance from the energy stocks, you know, given the removal of the fuel subsidy. And a few other factors, policy factors that have contributed to the performance of the market. So we're happy with the performance of the equities market, but we're also assessing, you know, when the market begins to retrace, you know, its steps, when there's a correction, what happens. So that's something we are looking at, and we want to ensure that that market remains stable and keeps doing well. We're very optimistic about it. And then we're also talking about the corporate bond market. We're a bit worried about the rising yields on sovereigns. You know, if you look at the government bonds now, there's a significant rise in yields. And we know the effect that can have on the equities market. So we're looking at it from a systemic risk point of view. And we believe that with the necessary support, our markets will be good. But I must tell you, Bosin, that this is bread and butter for us at the SEC. This is what we do every day. Our role is to ensure that it's a level playing field. Our role is to ensure that we are looking out for the risks. We are warning the operators, and we're making sure that our market is attractive.
All right, we'll touch base with you again before the year comes to an end. There's a whole lot to talk about the new year 2024 from the SEC's point of view. Thank you so much for tonight. We really appreciate your time on the show. Dr. Okey Umeano, who is the Chief Economist at Nigeria's Securities and Exchange Commission.